Hello YouTube fans, welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I will be doing a reading for you today, as the title implied, on a deceased ancestor or loved one. And let's hope today goes better than yesterday, because it was a weird one. It was just, I don't mean the reading, and the reading went fine. And I'm shuffling as I'm talking. But it was just, I got comments. I checked my comments in the afternoon, and somebody made a comment, reptile, and then this other person made a comment, lions and tigers and bears or something like that. What are they talking about? So when I played the video back, about halfway through the video, it went into super slow motion. So the sound became very weird and drawn out like that. Anyway. And I promise y'all, I did, in no time in that video did I touch my camera, my recording device here. So that is just beyond strange. But I took that as a message that Spirit didn't want that out at that time for whatever reason. Okay. We could just chalk it up to gremlins, whatever. All right. Enough chit chat about all that. Okay, deck's ready. And one more piece of business. Thank y'all for being here. I do appreciate each and every viewer, because I know your time is very valuable. I also appreciate when you hit that like button or subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content, because that shows the video to more people and tells YouTube that somebody thinks this content is interesting. The reason that's important is, yes, it helps my channel grow, and I'm just getting started here on YouTube, so I'm ever so grateful. But it also, like Spirit's telling me to check the bottom of the deck, but it also, because then YouTube sends this to a broader audience, it's more likely to reach the family and loved ones that this message is meant for. So thank you all very much. Okay, business out of the way. I have a gentleman coming through today. I had a lot of men lately, which is interesting. I don't know what that's about. He's showing me, I feel like he was a chef, or some kind of cook in a very nice restaurant. He's showing me, you know how chefs will have a pan and they'll flip it and the food will go up into the, I know you can't see anything, the food will go up into the air and then they'll catch it again in the pan. Or like somebody throwing a pizza up in the air, something like that. So this person clearly knew what they were doing with all that. And I heard the word Colorado. So this obviously could have been someone who lived in Colorado, worked in Colorado, was born in Colorado. Maybe the viewer, you live in Colorado, but I got the feeling he was telling me that's where he was or was from. And I feel like that's probably where he passed. So, okay, thank you, Spirit. Sorry, I'm hearing, I've just got all this, I have voices in my head. So oftentimes, let me back up. Oftentimes, spirits don't tell me how they die because it's not relevant to the story that they're wanting to bring in. They most often want you to focus on how they lived or the message that they want to give you that will be helpful for you, and not about how they died or how they passed. So, but that being said, this gentleman is showing me something. And I've tried to, these don't always make sense, so that's all I can say about that. I do the best with what they show me. And sometimes, you just have to do the best you can to convey that information. So what he's showing me is an automobile, a car. And at first I'm thinking, okay, well, he died in a car accident. And then he's showing me a second picture about where he can't breathe. He's saying, I can't breathe, like asphyxiation. So I don't know. You the viewer will have to see if that applies or where that applies, or if either or both of those apply. I mean, there's lots of ways my thinking cap could make those two fit together. but I'm going to leave that to you. So just plug those two factoids in wherever, if they fit into this story. But somehow I do get the strong feeling that they are related. So I don't know. You know, it could be like in a car accident, if your body shifts and the seatbelt ends up around your neck or something like that, or those, even the airbag going off, you can't breathe, and that's, I'm not saying it was a car accident, but I'm saying that's the feeling I'm getting. He's just saying, I can't breathe, and he's gasping for air. So I don't know. Hopefully you will, and that will make sense for you. So that is all that he's showing me. Let's see. Hold on. I spoke too soon. Something about this restaurant. Gosh, I can't talk today. Restaurant where he worked. It was, I'm going to say fancy. You know, not like, well, I guess it could have been a white tablecloth. But anyway, what I'm seeing is like one of those big, long, open grills where the tables where people are sitting, you can look through to chefs preparing food behind the counter. So it's kind of like, you know, an immersion experience where you can see what they're doing and they can see the people. I suppose the other side of that is they can see the people they're preparing food for, their clients. But it's that kind of, I'm seeing copper, a lot of copper. I don't know if it was on the grill or if it was above, like a hood. And then a lot of glass walls, so big open glass walls around the outside of this restaurant. And because apparently there was a view. Yeah. So this was in Colorado. It's beautiful there. There probably was a mountain view or something. I don't know. But yeah, and so there's something specialty about this restaurant. Something about open fire. There was an open fire element to somehow what they cooked. I mean, I'm seeing flames, and you know, of course, most chefs cook on a gas stove, of course, so that's not unusual that there would be something flaming in the kitchen in that regard. But this is more than that. It's like part of their brand. Part of their specialty is something cooked, you know, open fire, open grill fired food, whatever. I don't know what that means. Really, I'm not into that world, but hopefully you will, and it'll make sense to you. Okay, there's a message he's giving me. I don't believe this is about him. I believe this is about you, the viewer, somebody that this message will relate to. He's saying something about green eyes, green eyes, green eyes. And I'm also hearing green with envy. Or maybe it's green with envy about those green eyes. I don't know if that'll mean anything to you, but I also get the sense that there was, I don't feel like it was a harsh situation in terms of competitiveness among the chefs that worked in this restaurant, because I know that, I have heard that can happen, rather, don't know that, but I did get that there was some envy. There was some envy going on, and there were other I get the feeling they were younger, excuse me, chefs that were jealous of him for whatever reason. And again, I don't know why he's showing me all this, so hopefully you will. Oftentimes they don't show me that at all. They just talk about you. So I don't know what all that means, but apparently it's relative to his message today. Let me see if there's anything else. He's saying something, somebody buttering somebody up. Something about someone buttering someone up. And I keep seeing this young female chef type, or someone who worked in the, I don't know that she was technically a chef, but she's got long dark hair, younger woman, attractive younger woman with long dark hair. And I don't know how she factors in, but somehow, for whatever reason, he's showing me that. This is like a darn TV reality show, y'all. I get the darndest things. Oh, Lordy. All right, let me follow this, see where this goes. And now I see a third person, a man. He seems rather neutral in this situation, but maybe he was friends to both of them, but somehow this young woman, I think this young woman was the jealous person, jealous of the chef. So I don't know if they're telling me there was, and maybe they're saying there was some suspicious circumstances that he's trying to point a finger here, or he's not telling me that overtly by any means, and normally I would know that. Well, what is normal in this profession? But yeah, typically I would get that vibe, and I'm not really, but there's just this vibe of somebody wishing him ill will, somebody being jealous of him and wishing him ill will, and I will leave it at that. All right, let's see now. I don't know what this message is yet. I pull the cards, and then I just, kind of go with the message. And sometimes it's about the person speaking today, and sometimes it's about the person he is delivering this message to, friend, family, loved one. So let me tune in with this for just a second. Okay, let's see here. Yeah. Well, I get the feeling, I was hoping this was about you, but it's just more about the story. This is reminding me very much of a reading I did recently about corporate espionage, industrial espionage, collusion, that kind of thing. But it's not that severe, but I get the feeling. Whew, okay. I'm getting a couple of different storylines. Y'all, thank you for your patience. If you did what I do, you would understand why sometimes it just takes a little longer than others. I had a viewer say something, some smart aleck viewer made a comment, well, just get on with the message already. Well, okay, I'm sorry. Are you sitting here doing this reading? Because sometimes it's just not that simple. Sometimes you get a lot of download of information, and as the reader, I have to sit here and sort out multiple storylines and try to pick the one that is going to apply to the most people, or what Spirit really want, the essence of the message that they want to get here through to the viewer. So that's just not always clean and cut as you'd like. Sorry, I'm on a tear today, aren't I? Sorry, y'all. Yeah, that's my human side coming out. Okay. And again, if you guys are new to my readings, I don't read the cards necessarily like you would in, for example, a love reading. I don't always use the cards in their literal meaning from the tarot books because of the context of the kind of reading this is. Oftentimes they will just give me an image on the card that gets me in contact with a piece of information. So just know that as I'm talking about these cards. However, and the reason I mention that is, sometimes the Judgment card for me it's about karma, but it's also, a card about, in the traditional meaning, it's about reawakening. Sometimes it can be, rebirth and reconciliation, that kind of thing. And I'm just getting more of the story. Oh, goodness, I'm just getting more of the story about this work situation. There's a real important reason he wants me to bring this up today, so I'm going to just stick with this. Somebody, let me see if I can pull this in. Sometimes if I get quiet and then close my eyes, it's easier for me to bring it through, so bear with me, please. This young woman that I was talking about earlier, it's like she wanted to quit, but she didn't. She threatened to walk away, or she wanted to walk away. Could have been also another storyline that she was hoping this man would walk away, but he didn't. And she didn't. And it was, the feeling I'm getting is like there just wasn't enough room in this restaurant for both of them, so to speak. These were people of two pretty good sized egos. Okay, now something's starting to gel. This is starting to gel. So this man that's coming through is saying, but when he looked back at the situation, I think he wishes he'd done something different. That must be the, okay, it's starting to make, he wishes he'd made a different choice. He's saying he realized he pushed this young woman. It's like almost, and this guy wasn't a bad guy, y'all. He wasn't evil or malevolent, whatever that word is. But, you know, sometimes he was just in his ego. He had worked long and hard to get to where he was, and he wasn't going to give that up easily. And I think he taunted this young woman a bit with it. I think that, you know, yeah, that's the word, taunted her. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I hate to do that with the mic on, but can't be helped. I'm just feeling like there was, this message is about, he was sorry that he did that. He wishes he hadn't, because he realizes it forced this young woman to do things. She felt like her back was up against the wall, so to speak. A lot of cliches in this reading, but she felt pressure because she needed to advance in her career, but didn't see a way to do that under those circumstances. Oh, now, okay, now the true story comes out. Okay. The truth was, the tension that was between these people was because she was attracted to him. And I don't get the feeling that it was mutual. Yeah, okay, she was attracted to him, and so that made it even more, well, it certainly, the tension was there, that you could cut the energy with a knife, but every time he taunted her with the work thing, it dug deep into her because she had feelings for her. But I don't believe anybody knew that. Yeah, I think he was just cold to her. He didn't, I don't think, he just didn't know, number one, but again, it wasn't that he was trying to be cold. I think he was just so focused on his work and on his craft that's kind of what happened. And every time he did something that taunted her or whatever, she took it personally, and it just felt like swords in her back. Yeah, she was, and you know, so it was a double whammy for her. It wasn't just professional, it was also personal, because she had feelings for him. That was just, yeah. He was just, he was the ruler. He was in charge, so to speak. It was, but you know, he did seem to come from his ego. And again, I'm just telling the story. He's giving me some of this, and then Spirit's giving me some of this. And there just seems like there was no way out for this young woman. I think she just felt, yeah, that it was a bit of an obsession, a bit of a damned if I do and damned if I don't. I just think she saw no way out. And so let me see. Yeah. I think she decided to move on, to go elsewhere. Maybe she had another job offer. It's what it looks like. And I don't usually go this deep into the deck, but I'm curious. I'm seeing the Tower back here, and I want to investigate that. Yeah. And I think she finally realized that on this card, this is the Page of Cups, but if you can see, there's a little tiny pig with wings up in the corner up here. And to me, the message I get is, yeah, when pigs fly. So that's the message that I feel like that's how she felt about her feelings, her I won't say love, that may be too strong, but maybe she did love him. Her feelings for this man was, well, that's never going to happen. It's when pigs fly. And so, oops, I think that she just made the decision. Something had to change. Something had to go. So, yeah, there was this big Tower moment over love. Yeah, I just think she just knew that she had more passion for him, and that's why all this conflict was there. So she ended it. She apparently moved on or got another job, moved away, ended it. And I get the feeling that she, and I'm assuming this is you, she meaning you, the viewer, because I believe that's who this message is meant for. I don't think you were happy after that. I think it certainly wasn't the outcome that you wanted. You wanted a romance with this man, but beyond that, you wanted to have a career at this restaurant, and in your dreams, you saw both of those happening, but that wasn't. Okay, okay, so, well, all right. So it could have been that he died. Well, let me look, because that's another layer. This is another storyline that is coming out. Let me look at these cards from that perspective now. Okay, it could be that when this person passed away, this man passed away, that it created an opportunity, or perhaps you the viewer thought this was going to create an opportunity for you. Maybe you thought you could take his position or something. I don't get the feeling that happened. And I think he's coming through. I mean, again, this could be a active ill will situation here. I don't get that clearly, as I said earlier, but it's certainly he's wanting to say he wishes he'd handled things differently. He wishes he could have seen what was really going on, and that he could have responded to that. He's not really saying he would have done things a whole lot differently, but he is saying he could have responded differently and would have responded differently. That he never meant to hurt this young woman, and if he'd known that his actions were, if he'd known that she had personal feelings for him, I think that he would not have taunted her so much with the work environment stuff. He wouldn't have done that. I don't think this guy was, like I said, malicious in that way. He was just so focused on his own career and his own promotion of his work that he was not allowing really for anything else to come into his purview. So it just never crossed his mind. That's all I can say. And so this is his way of saying, I'm sorry. Simple, I'm sorry. And I hope that whoever this message is for gets it. But he's, like I said, he's not saying things would have been different in terms of if he'd known you loved him, he would have loved you back. I think that nobody knows that. He didn't know that, certainly. But, oh, wow. He said, Probably not, because I just loved myself too much to love anybody else. Ooh, ouch. Okay. Well, it's interesting when we cross over how we certainly can come from our bigger selves instead of our ego selves. So that is the message. I think that's a pretty good, I can't top that, y'all. That sort of dropped the mic right there. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope this message finds its way to the person it's meant for. Again, I thank you all for watching, and if you'll hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, I'll be making more content. Thank you all so very much. I do value your time, and I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.